Welcome back, my fellow aggressive learners. In this episode, we shall be talking about Z index. Now, in Z index, I have already prepared a little div tag here with three different images. And these three different images, I gave them classes. The first one, I gave it class 1. Already, you know what the other one is. And of course, you already can guess exactly what this one is class 3. Now, of course, they all have their different colors. Now, I am going directly to the CSS to manipulate the sizes, and we do some magic with this Z index, right? Good. Now, let's get down to the business. Of course, you already know what this is. I don't have to state that again. All right. So we already said that the box will always clear border you have in your your default browser styles and all that. All right, remove the default margin, remove the default padding, and so on and so forth. Let's get down to the business. Let's quickly do div. Let's take the div. Since div is the parent tag here, is the parent tag to these images, right? Good. So let's give div a width and give it a height, and probably give it a relative position so that whatever we're doing will not take the ancestor. Okay, so let's get down to the business. So div, you give it width, and then if you give it, let's say it is a 300 pixel, then I would do height. Height, give it 400 pixel, and then of course, having done this, I am going to give it a border color of 2 pixel, and then solid, and then solid. Let's just do red. Of course, you know how to do that in hex. Please don't do this red color I'm doing here. Now, the next thing I want to do, I want to pick the entire image file and give it a width of what? Of, let's say 300 of 100 pixel, 200 pixel. Yes, all of them. Then I'm going to give them a height of what? A height of 100 pixel. Good. So it's making sense, right? Good. It's making some sense, right? Now, let's move this div away, move it to the center so that we'll be clear of what we're doing. So let's make the div, let's give it a margin. Margin, let's say 50 pixel. Left, right, bottom, everything, we're giving it 50 pixels. Let's make it 100, right? Yeah, 100. Yeah, good, beautiful. So that is what it is. Now let's make the width and the height to be the same thing, right? Good, for the image, right? Beautiful, beautiful. We can reduce them. 100, 100. Good. Currently, you can see they are all flowing in a different way. Now, let me play around. Remember, we talked about position absolute. So let's do position absolute. Watch exactly what happened. All the image shrink into this position. I want us to quickly, before we move ahead, let's quickly go to our CSS and see what's going on. Good. Thank you very much. Of course, how did I get here? I just click on inspect, and voila. Here I am. If you open on this tag, you can see all our images. The first image is here, the second image is here, the third image is here. You can see there are what? Absolute. Remember, I click on the image, right? This is, you can see the width of the stuff. You can see, right? You can see, right? Good. So these are some of the things you should know. Now, look at the image. You can see, remember we did box sizing. Let me show you. Look at how these things will clear. Are you seeing box sizing? Are you seeing the way the size of the div is increasing and reducing? Meaning that there are some default browser style that were cleared to ensure that what you define is what you get. You remove margin. You can see what's going on, right? Good. So have all this in your mind. Now, what do I want to show you here? I want to show you that based on what you define, based on your position absolute, you can see, right? This is what your position absolute is doing. Now, remember we said that if you're defining position absolute currently, your position absolute must take top, right, bottom, left, and all that. As it is, we have not defined that. The moment you define top for any of the images, you define top or right for any of them, even if it is 0, it will quickly become relative to the body. Relative to the body. However, that is not what I'm teaching you, but I'm doing it so that you get to understand what you did in the first place. Now, if I go ahead and define my image, all right, absolute. The moment I give it, let's say, let me pick one of the image. Let's pick the one that is called 1.1.1. Let me do top, make it 0. Watch what happens. Did you see? It quickly left that environment and went to the body. Left, let me make it 0 too. So it become relative to the body. So we need to tell this CSS, hey, we don't want this thing to be relative to the body. We want it to be what? To be relative to what? To the div tag. We want it, sorry, please, excuse me. Position relative to what? To the div tag. We want it relative to what? To the div tag, right? That is exactly what we wanted. You can see all of them are here right now. So if you're picking any of the image and you're defining top and bottom for them, top, left, right, and all that for them, it will all be happening inside this div and not on the body. All right. I hope position absolute is making sense in your mind currently. Now let me give our images. Let me give it a border so that we'll be having some kind of clarity in what we're doing. So let me make it a 3 pixel. Let me make it solid. Sorry, forgive me for these colors I'm using. I hope you get to use all those stuff, right? Good. Let us play with the first one. The very first one, we want it to be top 0. And then the very second one, we want it to be top 50 pixel away. And let it be left. Okay, let's save and see. You can see, right? Good. Let me do left 50 pixel. You can see, right? Good. Now I'm going to carry this and move this to what? For the third guy. You already know what we're going to, third guy. So now we want it to be what? 100 pixel away from top, and we want it to be what? 100 pixel away. Please, we are just doing all this for the sake of trying to understand what we are doing, because it could be applied anywhere. Z index could be applied anywhere. Absolute could be applied in a whole lot of places and all that. All right, good. So now you can see this. You can see these images. Look at this image. The girl is on top of avocado. Avocado is on top of what? The smoothie, and so on and so forth. Now, one of the ways I can switch the position of this image is to go to my index file. Come to my index file, pick any of this one, maybe put it at the top or bottom, all right? And then you will see the bad guy. You can see, right? You can see it will start showing up at the top and at the bottom and a whole lot of that. All right, good. Sorry, however, I have defined, you can see how it is. You can see how it is stretching and changing. Assuming I have not defined this top, left, right, and all that, you would see how it will be flipping. Now, I don't have to go to my HTML to play around with these things. I don't have to. Let me return it to the way it is. I don't have to go to my HTML. I can actually come from here. Make this one to become go behind without touching it. This is number 3, right? Good. Number 3. So I can go. Let me start with number 1. Let me bring number 1 forward. So I am going to use what we call Z index. Z index, by default, Z index is 0. So as it is now, it is 0. Nothing will happen. So, but I can change my Z index to be what? To be 1. Right? You can see, right? Good. So what happened? This one automatically came forward. Now I can also come here and change my Z index to be what? To be 2. Right? Good. I can also come here and do my Z index to be 3. So you can see what's going on here, right? That is for positive Z index. Now let's go ahead and make this third one to be -3. It flips again. It flips again back the same way. It flips back the same way. It flips back, right? So that is all you get to do with Z index. You can get one box or image or whatever it is to stay on top of the other or go behind the other one, and so on and so forth. So you can actually play with your Z index and then get some nice fancy looking design. And of course, we are going to practicalize that in our project and all that. See you in the next class, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.